What is Determined Women of Destiny?
What is Determined Women of Destiny?
What is Determined Women of Destiny?
So, what is Determined Women of Destiny?
Really, can someone tell me what is Determined Women of Destiny?
This ain't your average talk show, honey. This is where passion meets purpose, where women receive empowerment and encouragement, infused with information and inspiration, but more than anything else, motivation to live their best life. So I want you to grab a cup of coffee or a spot of tea. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
There goes a woman of God. Baby looking like man. There goes a woman of God. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman first. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman too. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman true. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman. Oh.
Hey, good people, it's Yvonne, the Motivator Man. You're checking out Determined Women of Destiny, the place where amazing women doing amazing things come to show off. My guest today, well, before I go there, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, okay? All you gotta do is click that little button. It don't cost you nothing. You watching anyway. So like, click, and subscribe. My guest today is such a funny woman, but it's not just her comedy. She has a business. She's a gym teacher. She's a mama. She's a wife. I mean, this chick does it all. If anybody can sing I'm Every Woman, Jori D O'Neill can sing that song. Welcome to the show, Jori.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. This is a pleasure being here with you today. So excited. I have no idea what we're gonna do, but you're here, I'm here. Let's have some fun.
We're gonna do what we've done since we met, and that is to talk about some really good stuff, and definitely the stuff that you're doing. I met Jori at a vision board party, and when I came in, I heard this voice. And she was saying, people keep telling me I have a great voice to do a podcast. And I was like, yes, you do. And she giggled and said, well, that's because I have. And I was like, really? So I always like to learn. So I was like, well, I have a show on YouTube, and, I want to take it and put it to a podcast. Can you help me? She's like, sure. And then she invited me to come to one of the events she does, and that's Friday Fun Night. I'm going to let her tell you all about that. And from then on, honey, listen, this my chick right here. This my chick. So Jori, don't go to Friday Fun Night. Just tell us who Jori D O'Neill is.
How long is this talk show? I mean,
listen, you have to put this in for 30 minutes, and it's a lot. So you got to condense it.
I got a lot of layers. You should have told me. I could have wrote a synopsis, sent a bird, maybe a tweet, or a hashtag. What do people communicate now with these days? What is this?
You have to tell me, because I have no idea anymore, because it was Facebook was happening, and then it went to Instagram was happening, and then Twitter was happening between the two of them, and then Snapchat popped up, and then we had the TikTok. I'm old, so I'm saying TikTok, the TikTok, and who knows? I'm just trying to keep up with you, sis. I'm just trying to keep up with you.
I'm trying to keep up with the world. So thank you so much, first off, just for this invitation. I'm always honored and privileged to speak on other people's stages, because there's so many other humans you could have picked to engage with your listeners, with your audience. And you picked me, right? And I never take that for granted. So thank you so much, Yvonne. I've stalked you, I'll be cyber stalking people on the YouTube, and I love what you're doing. I love your movements. It was a blessing. Like I felt like I was a participant, right? The first event we went to, we both were asked to speak. Mm-hmm. And when you got up there and you shared, I was like, yes, like I'm here for it. Yes. I don't know what she's about exactly yet, but I'm gonna find out, God willing. let's collaborate. Let's, encourage each other, uplift each other, because I think that's powerful. So you said, tell you about myself. My name is Jori O'Neal. I do a lot. But my largest, right, I guess, umbrella of title would be I'm a Christian. I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ. I am a minister of reconciliation. My goal and my hope is everything that I put out gives God glory, and that it allows people to see that Christianity is not whack. Christianity should not be put in a box. That there are facets and aspects of Christianity that I think people allow themselves to enter into, or even to experience, maybe from previous experiences, maybe from wayward teaching, right? And so I try to share the message of hope, because that's what Jesus did. He just shared hope, hope and love. And I try to share that through various forms, anything that resonates with me, anything that speaks to the identity that I have as a woman, as a married woman, as an entrepreneur, right? As a mama bear, right? Because I think that sometimes as women, we work our entire life trying to serve and to give and to become these things for other people. But at the end of the day, we forget about ourselves. And so recently, a friend and I, we started a talk show. It started as a Bible talk, then it flipped into a talk show. Now it's a podcast called 30 Minutes of Power, where we just really pour into women specifically who may have limited mindsets, limited belief systems, just really pour into them, just with the word of God and encouragement and motivation. So I think in that respect, like, we both are in alignment with that. And I felt that in your spirit when you spoke. Outside of that, my husband and I, we run a faith-based entertainment company, RYH, In Your House Entertainment. And the entertainment is because we want to share with people the joy that we have about life. I met my husband in church, and he's a fun dude. He loves going out, having fun. He's an incredible DJ. He's an incredible graphic artist. So if you need like logos, anything like that, like, definitely hit him up. But he's the inner, like an introvert a little bit. So he's more on a quiet or reserved side in terms of entertainment. So he loves to serve, to physically help people, where I'm more of the encourager, right? And so we started IYH Entertainment about 2.5 years ago, but we've been living this lifestyle of bringing encouragement and motivation to people for maybe like 12 years. 2008 we started just DJing parties and MCing parties, and Christian parties, specifically in people's backyards and at houses, at conferences, and it kind of grew from there. So I'm open to any questions you have. I'm gonna have to just rack my brain a little bit, depending on how deep the question is. I might have to go back into the Rolodex. And if you're young enough to know what a Rolodex is, you know that sometimes that takes a little time to figure out the A's from the X's.
Well, let's talk about the fact of how you held your composure when your children came in that room. Girl, I mean, you was cool. You were ice cold. You didn't flinch. Your eyes didn't move. But I know you did something to let them kids know, y'all better get up out of here. And that is just part of your really, really cool personality. But you're a gym teacher. How did that come to be about?
So I worked in, I've been a trainer my whole life, like literally my whole life, from really young, just training other people, teaching other people. Like that's my gift. My gift, God put me on earth and he was like, I want you to teach people. But he didn't tell me what when I got here. So I've been stumbling around for a couple decades trying to figure it out. I think I have figured it out now. We'll get into that later. But Phys Ed was, and I want to just say this for the record, gym is a place. Phys Ed is the actual content and subject which we teach. I just want to say that for all my Phys Ed teachers out there. Shout out to anybody rolling out balls and making kids run in circles. What's up? Phys Ed came about because I worked with individuals with special needs for a couple of years, and one of the mothers, she said, I think you should stop doing this, working one-on-one with my son, and I think you need to go and get your degree in teaching. Now, I had already got my bachelor's in theology with a double major in government and politics. We can talk about that a little later. And all I wanted to do was just like, I just want to help people, but I didn't know who I was supposed to help. So I helped individuals who had mental retardation, special needs, developmental disability. Most of them were on the autistic spectrum. So they didn't speak. So I'm ABA certified level 2 specialist, and just reading people's body language and trying to figure out what they're communicating based on the nonverbal cues. Like, that is how I started. Before I got into a classroom, I was already figuring out how you were feeling when you came in the room. It also helps that I'm an empath by nature. And so she told me to, right. So you feel people's energy. And so she told me to go back to school. And initially I was like, I'm not going back to nobody's school. And as the days progressed, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give it a try. So I applied for a teaching position, and the only thing they had open was Phys Ed. And I was like, you know what, it's cool. I like sports. It's only for 2 months. It's for a summer school at a private university or a private campus, Grace Church School in Lower Manhattan. I was like, I do this. It's fine. I did it. And the individuals that I worked with, Manny Pazos, if you're out there listening, God bless you, brother. Like, you set me on my journey. And that was in 2007. By 2008, I had already enrolled in school. Now, mind you, this was at the same time I was finishing up comedy school, because while I was working with these individuals with special needs, it took so much out of me. Like, I was drained. And the only thing I wanted to do was sit in my house and just veg out on comedy shows. That was it. Like, I wanted to watch, the greats when they first started coming out. Steve Harvey. I'm watching Centric Entertainer. I'm watching these guys. Yes, I'm watching these humans, and it makes me laugh and it gives me energy. And I was like, yo, I want to do that. I think, but I'm too scared. No, that's crazy, right? And then so you had mentioned when we spoke earlier that you heard my podcast this morning.
Now, listen, I gotta go to break because I got bills to pay. As soon as we come back, gotta pay them bills, Chad. As soon as we come back from break, we're going to talk a little bit more about your transition from Phys Ed to comedy. And then we're going to talk about what I heard this morning and you meeting Whoopi Goldberg. So listen, everybody come back. Go get you some iced tea, get you some fried chicken. Like I said, turn them greens, go stir them greens, put your seasoned salt, throw that fat back in there, and you'll have just enough time to come on back. Come on back.
My name is Kamisha Farkason, CEO and founder of Concrete HR Solutions, LLC, a consulting firm providing concrete solutions for all of your HR needs. Here at Concrete, our mission is to enhance our clients' opportunities for success. We ensure that the right numbers of the right people are in the right jobs at the right time with the right training, all while promoting positive employee relations and making sure that you remain compliant. We understand that human resources is the support arm of an organization. It's about driving efficient business results, driving your mission through effective people management and minimizing risk. What sets us apart is that Concrete is not only for small businesses. We provide solutions for employees and job seekers as well. It all begins with a conversation. Head on over to concretehrsolutionsllc.com today to book your first 10-minute consultation. The people within your organization are your most important investment. And here at Concrete, we are in the business of taking care of your investment.
Welcome back. You are checking out Determined Women of Destiny. I am your host, Yvonne, the Motivator Man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Today, my guest is Jori D. O'Neill. And if you were checking out the first half of the show, I hope you were. If not, shame on you because you missed a lot. But it's okay. It'll replay. You can see it again. But this woman is a mother of 4 children. And we're so happy that middle child is still alive after break. Um, but I'm sorry, I'm just cracking up because I've never seen anybody so smooth handle the fact that you're literally in a Zoom interview and your kids want to rack your nerves. So shout out to you. But before we went on the break, we talked about you being a phys ed teacher, going from a phys ed teacher to, doing comedy because you were working with individuals that really weren't speaking individuals.
Yeah, and so
you needed a little something, and comedy was that something.
So I went from doing it's called respite, right? Or not necessarily a home health aide, but I worked with individuals in their homes. And I don't know, I was playing around one day and I was like, you know what, one day I'm gonna be a comedian. And have you ever told yourself like one day you're gonna do something and you can see it, you have the visuals are there, you can feel it, and you never take that first step. Like you never take that first step. And the universe was conspiring for me. And I say that all the time because out of the blue, my roommate was like, hey, my mom has an extra ticket to Whoopi Goldberg's 25th anniversary show of her one woman stand up. And I was like, oh, okay. Like people say I look like her sometimes, So I was like, that'd be cool.
And you squint and you bend your head down with one eye, look just like her.
Right. So I was like, all right, cool. And I'm thinking these is nosebleed seats because it's Whoopi Goldberg. Right. And you ain't got no money. So we sitting in the back.
Not any money you knew about.
That I clearly did I know about. I was like, she must hit the lottery because we was in the front. We was like, if I bend over too far to pick up my glass, I'm gonna hit my head on the stage. We was in the front. And Whoopi Goldberg, she comes out in her first character, and she's playing ain't nobody, can't nobody sing, like it was like Ricky Fontaine or something like that, but she came out in character as a crackhead, and I was like, first I didn't know what it was because there was no like YouTube and Google and stuff. So when she was like, oh, the one woman show anniversary, I was like, I don't know what that is, but it sounds fun. I'm gonna go. Yeah. So when she first started, these were characters that she had done and she had crafted and she had coined for so many years. And so when she came out doing these characters, I was like, wow, like I knew she was an actress, but I didn't know like she embodied.
But you never had seen her do Ricky Fontaine before?
No, I had never seen her do Ricky Fontaine before. So she came out as Ricky Fontaine, and my mind was like, wow, this is amazing. What a marvelous character. And then as she comes out, she's like, hey, pretty. And I'm like, who you talking to? Because I'm the only one in the front row at this time, right? With some other
Do me
people.
a favor, put Rachel up here. I need to speak to Rachel.
It's not Rachel. The fourth one has come home, and he's demanding time with his mommy.
Look at you. Look at you.
You say
hi?
Why
are you in the middle of our show, sir? Hello. Now, I'm not interviewing you, so maybe next week.
Mommy.
It's not your interview, okay? Can mommy finish her interview?
Yes.
Okay, go get daddy. Close the door, baby.
He said yes if I have to. Like, yes, you can finish. He is adorable. And I wanted to just do that little segment because there's so many women that watch the show that are mothers and they have younger children and they feel like I can't follow my dream right now because, and that's not the truth.
It's not.
As long as you have an hour, you can follow your dream. And it's not bothering me that, the kids are in the background because this is the true essence of who she is. Absolutely. So I'm still over here hollering because you never saw Ricky the Fontaine.
I never. I'm so sorry. And she came out and she was like, come here, pretty. Let me talk to you for a minute. And I was like, who's she talking to? Oh, snap. Wait, I think she might, wait, no. I'm shaking my head like, no. It's mad people in this. No. Like I'm looking around. Like, no, not me. No. And I turned to my friend, and my friend she's so shy. She's black. She my complexion, but chick was red. I was like, I didn't even know how you did that. Like that's a magic trick.
She was burgundy.
Oh my goodness. It wasn't a normal color. It wasn't a normal color. So she's freaking out. And then I turned to her mother, and her mother has buried her face in her purse. It was just like, no. So I was like, oh snap. And she's like, come here, pretty. Let me talk to you for a minute. I was like, okay. So then she's like, come here, let me see. Go on, stand up for me. Go ahead, come here closer. And so I stood up and I walked to the lip of the stage, and she has my hands up. Now, mind you, I got jewelry on right now, but all this, my husband buys me. If you see any jewelry, it's because of my husband. So pre-husband, I ain't had no jewelry. So she's touching all my hands. She's like, how you doing, you pretty thing, you. Hold on. you ain't got no jewelry? I say, no. Sit your bro down. I was like, oh my God. She's like, she cursed at me in front of all these people.
And told me to
I was like, all these people. I was like, oh my gosh. And I sat down, and my friend was like, are you okay? Whoopi Goldberg just cursed at you and basically called you broke.
I will never be okay.
And inside, right, where the emotions are, they weren't feeling too great. They were feeling embarrassed. I felt flushed, hot. But then in my brain, I looked around and the entire place went wild. And I was like, I'm computing. One, Whoopi Goldberg just touched my hand. Okay, so who else in here got a hand held and fondled by Whoopi Goldberg? Nobody.
She said fondled.
Yes, fondled. Two, I was part of her.
You
her
serious?
act, right?
You played yourself. You did this. She yours now.
Anybody else?
How could you let somebody live without late? You gave up everything that we made. How could you let somebody tell you how to treat me? How could you just give up on me? How could you let somebody live without late?
Of audience
You gave up everything that we made. How could you let somebody tell you how to treat me?
And it did, now mind you, I'm still working with these individuals with special needs. It did something to my spirit that nothing else that I had done thus far in my lifetime was able to accomplish. And I said, yo, I'm gonna do that. That's what I'm gonna do.
You understood the assignment. Like
it finally clicked. It finally clicked like, oh, all your life experiences have been leading you to do that. That's why people keep saying you look like her. It's because y'all got similar spirits. Like, okay. All right. So then after that, I studied her. I signed up for Manhattan Comedy School, and I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm gonna do comedy. And so after the comedy schools ended, I started doing gigs at comics, right? Performing with cats like Jim Gaffigan, Judah Freelander. I was, going to Caroline's. I was like, this is everything that Whoopi did. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find out when she performed, and I'm gonna go there. And that's what I did. I literally tried to emulate her New York upcoming like comedic career, right? And then I met a boy.
Well, isn't that always it? I met a boy. There was a boy.
And he stole my heart. And then I was like, I don't know if comedy is going to support both of us because you're not gainfully employed. So a parent told me, she's like, you've taught my son so much in the short time you've been here. Your gift is teaching. I can't have you work one-on-one with my son anymore. Please go and follow that gift. So I was like, wait, but I'm trying to do comedy. And now you tell me to go back for teaching. When I met a boy, and we need a good job because like I want to have a husband and marriage and a house and like kids and stuff. Like I want to have all that. And I couldn't see that being a female comedian. And that's the sad part, that even to this day, right? Shout out to GL Douglas. Like, we have to put our dreams on hold when we have kids, but men, they're out still hitting the circuit, going on tours, right? Jim Gaffigan's writing books and doing all this other stuff. As a man with he got mad kids. He got more kids than me. But he's a man. And so the disparity between what we're able to do in the comedic scene and what men are able to do once we start a family, like, I'm like, nah, I'm trying to end that. So you see, my son was here, my daughters was acting a mess. Like, I'm not putting anything that I desire to do, because guess what? I didn't put the dream there. I didn't put it there. I didn't give myself the vision. Yes, Whoopi Goldberg helped me actualize and see it manifested on a stage. Like, oh, that's what I feel compelled to do. But God gave it to me. Mm-hmm. The ability to entertain and encourage people, God gave that to me. And shame on me if I don't use it. Shame on me if I don't go hard for it.
Say that again, because I cannot drill this in women's heads enough. You have a purpose to your life. If you're not living that purpose, what are you living? What are you living? You're inhaling and exhaling for what?
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I got to figure this out. And so I had one foot in the comic scene, one foot out. Some of the places that I was going and where I saw my life heading, they didn't correspond. So I just started doing conferences and just personal gigs, private gigs. But I kept my comedy sharp, right? I kept it sharp. Right. And then the pandemic hit, right? And everybody knows how that caused a lot of people who have livelihood that depends on human interaction, that depends on people showing up to your shows and things of that nature. It put a stop to it. And, God put it on my heart, and my husband was crazy enough to back me up. And we started Fun Friday Comedy. We just started streaming on YouTube every Friday night, 9 p.m., like clockwork. Mm-hmm. And I just started doing stand-up. I did stand up from my basement. I had a twisted ankle. I was on crutches, hobbling to the spot, and I had no microphone. I only dressed up at the top because I'm so used to Zoom meetings. So like, I had shorts on because we didn't know how to do the pan and the camera. It was a phone we were using, and those were our humble beginnings. And so now to see, you came to the show, right? You came to Fun Friday Live. You saw the production.
Yeah, just 2 years and all of this has happened. And we're going to go to break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about Fun Friday, in your house entertainment. And then we're going to wrap up with some motivation. So some other women that might feel that they're funny would like to make people laugh. So we're going to break, and y'all go and take the chicken out. It's probably done now. We'll be right back. Apostle James Powell is this week's new artist. Here is a clip of his song Recover, which is on his restructured album, heard on all listening platforms. I feel my healing. My life is getting better. For when God said it, I believed it. I lift my hands, declared and received it. Recover, I will live. Oh, yeah. Hey, good people. It's Yvonne, the Motivated Man, and Jori D. O'Neill. This is the Determined Women of Destiny talk show. It's the place where amazing women doing amazing things show off. Make sure you like, click, and subscribe. And when you're watching next week, call your girlfriend over and watch it with her. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Now, before you went and turned your chicken off and we went to break, Jori was talking about how, she now, due to pandemic, has a whole entertainment company. And she was doing comedy in a basement, and now she has Fun Friday. And she had asked me after we met, she had requested that I would join her on a Friday night. And she said, well, what you want to do? You want to host? You want to speak? You want to this? And I said, well, whatever you have me to do. So she writes this beautiful bio that I'll be using from now on, because I had a bio like this, right? And she says, sure. And it says everything that I said in a paragraph. So it's wonderful. So I thank you for that. And I've done comedy. Many of you know I did comedy for 5 years. I did stand up. My daughter lost her mind. I had to stop. Because as mothers, that's what we do. We give up our dreams for our children. Brothers, can you help us out sometimes? Not saying anything's wrong. We just asking for some help so we can live our dreams too. A little segue right there. And she says to me, do whatever. She does this introduction that I was like, oh God, I hope I can live up to everything she just said. And that night, my motivation speaking came together with my comedy. And for the first time ever, I told my story in a motivating, comedic way. And you see, you have to make sure that your tribe is right and your tribe is tight, because without meeting her and just accepting her into my life as the gift that God had brought through, I wouldn't have known that that was something that I wanted to do or even was going to do. And now it has opened up a whole nother venue of Yvonne the Motivated Man. So you have to be open to the shift. I'm used to getting up there and the next that you will see is, or either saying, you know what you have to do? You have to live your dreams. You have to live your dreams. Like everybody hears me, oh, you got to keep doing what you're doing until what you're doing gets done. That everybody knows that's me. But to be on stage again was like heaven, because I love the stage. I absolutely love the stage. Even from that, so much so, I reached out to my man, Bam, hey, Rashad Worthy, and said, listen, I think I'm ready to hit the stage again. Do you have any parts available? Because I'd love to go back to acting now. So that came from interacting with this wonderful woman here. And Jori's whole production, so professional, so wonderful. And if you're on Long Island and you can get the Baldwin and you check her out, because she's going to tell you how to make sure you follow her. You want to come to a fun Friday night, because it's really a fun Friday. So tell us a little bit more about In Your House entertainment and fun Friday nights. And, just tell us how women who want to be on stage and just want to, do that comedy thing and been telling themselves no, just give them a little push. Just do that little sisterly, get on out there. Go on, get.
So Fun Friday comedy, it started as just a way for me to just, again, I want to encourage. That is my gift. That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm funny. So when I encourage folks, I want to do it in a humorous way, right? I want to be comedic about it. And as I started doing the show, people were actually watching it. And I was like, wow, like either y'all ain't got nothing better to do.
And that's okay.
Right, but
me.
or I got something here. I got something here. And so I had posted an amateur comedy show virtually, where I had people submit to me what they thought was funny, different material, and then we did a workshop and I worked them through how to be more funny, how to show up on camera, different punchlines that they can use instead. And again, I'm using all the skills. I'm a teacher, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, and now I'm showing people how to encourage other people. And so I'm grateful. Val, the Voice Johnson, she took off with the comedy, and now she has her own podcast. She's hosting on Clubhouse. She's moderating in other people's rooms. And every time we speak, like, she attributes her just not knowing she was funny. Like, she's always been funny. I've known this woman for years. She's always been funny, but there's a voice in our head sometimes. And sometimes it's our parents' voice. Sometimes it's a lover's voice. Sometimes it's ourselves that tells us we can't do something. And so we transition the company to now our tagline is encouraging creativity through community. But as of 2022, we've been focusing on helping Christian creatives get on stages. And so anytime I meet someone with a message, anytime I meet someone who has a story to share, whether it be spoken word, because I think when you came, there was spoken word night. If it's a song, if it's a rap, if it's comedy. I had a minister, he's like, hey, I've been having a hard time getting my friends to come to church. And I'm like, you a minister, bro? And he's like, yeah. He says, but I think if you help me with this comedy thing, I think they'll come to a comedy show. And so I had a whole night of just amateur comedy people come to a Fun Friday Live in Baldwin at One Life Center. Shout out to Isaac Badaracco. God bless you, brother. He's the pastor over at One Life. He's been gracious and just training and teaching us how to use this new age equipment. I'm trained in videography, audio engineering for 7 years with people who have not hosted. They've done the lights and the sounds for Good Morning America and things of that nature. So I've learned from some really like great humans, but they got all this new fandangle buttons and stuff now. So he's been teaching and showing us how to use that just so we can elevate our game and encourage people in a more professional way, because at this rate, like, you got to keep up with what's happening out there. So we shifted from Friday comedy. Now our focus is Jesus, but we want to make Jesus fun. We want to make Jesus attractive because he is that already. It's not like we're adding anything to what Jesus is. We're just exposing it in a different way and helping people get out of the box with their Christianity. Christianity's been stoic for way too long.
And it was never intended that way, because if you read the Bible, there was nothing stoic about Jesus. And you cannot tell me that the disciples wasn't hollering when the woman came up to him asking for healing, and he called her a dog, and she said, yeah, but even the dogs eat the scraps from the table. I would have been like, yeah. Come on. You're going to tell me that Peter wasn't like, he probably got that side eye from Jesus. There's so many things in the Bible that I read and, I see where it comes from, but I also get a chuckle because here it is, the hands writing on the wall. We've always heard, you see the hand writing on the wall. We didn't realize that is a statement from the Bible. And there was an actual hand writing on the wall, the person's transgressions. And you can't tell me everybody in the room was like, yo, did you see that? So I agree with you about the stoicness. Well, there is a respect, of course. There's a respect of who God is, because he reigns and he rules, and we love him. We also know that he wants us to be happy. And in the Bible, it says laughter does the heart merry like medicine. So I really like to see some of y'all crack a smile every now and then. Can you just find it in yourself to giggle? Because life may be tough, but that air in your lungs is proof positive that you're not finished yet. And there's so much more to go. And if today happens to be your last day, you really don't want to be, you really want to find some joy in it. So, you can say, I went out with a bang, because I'm telling you, I'm sliding into heaven, home plate, raggedy body, because I'm using this sucker. I'm a dance until the arthritis say I can't. Every dream and every hope I pray will be poured out of me. You'll be so sick of hearing about me, but that's okay because God gave me a lot. Like Tamara Mann says, this gift he gave to me, I didn't ask for it, but I answered the call. So it is a lot. It's a lot. And the fact that you're mommy and you're a wife and you're entrepreneur, and you don't have like just a business where, you're making t-shirts. Not saying anything's wrong with t-shirts. It's just that you can make the t-shirts in your house. You have to go out of your home to entertain people. Where most businesses, products and services, people come in to you. I have to explain all the time, my businesses, I have to go out because my business is running my mouth. So I can be on platforms like this running my mouth, but the majority of my businesses, I am behind, I can't find my microphone either. I'm behind the mic and I'm saying something to somebody about something. So that takes me away from home. So I applaud the fact that, like I said earlier, before we was on here, the balls in the air, she just juggles them. And then, when it's time for all those balls to come on down and for Jori to just chill out with her family, her husband and her children. She got 4 kids. So yes, she has chilled with her husband and loves to. Because 4 kids, that's a lot chilling. That's a lot chilling.
A little bit.
And to be able to do what God called her to do, I just truly thank you. Jori, let us know how we can find you.
Oh, of course, yes. Follow me on the IG, Jori O'Neal, JORIONEALE. That's my handle for everything: Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, even IG. And if you are in the New York area and you would love to be entertained, our next Fun Friday Live is going to be at One Life Christian Church. That is 3167 Eastern Parkway, Baldwin, New York, 11510 at 8 p.m. sharp. Please arrive at 7:30 so you can get a good seat. Make sure that the seats in the front row aren't the only ones left open, because I guarantee you will be participating. That is part of our mantra. The audience doesn't just spectate, they participate. And that is all part of just us getting out of ourselves.
And what's the next date for that?
That will be June 10th. Friday, 10th. June 10th. Yeah.
Okay, so for all my Long Island viewers, will I be on the stage June 10th? Wink.
If you want to pull up, like, listen, you are welcome guests anytime you want to come through, Yvonne. Nothing but love for the Motivator Man. You are a blessing. You are a joy. My service to this earth is to make sure that I create more stages for folk like you, more opportunities for you to walk into your greatness, for you to walk into your purpose, for you to tap into that thing that maybe you put on a shelf at some point, right? Let's pick it back up. Let's dust it off and let's share it with the world, right? Everybody has a gift. As you say, everybody has a purpose. My mission is to help all Christian creatives find a stage that belongs to them, whether it's a podcast, if it's a YouTube series, if it's an ebook, right? If it's public speaking, whatever it is, the message that you have inside of you is not meant for you. It's meant to be shared with the world. And so I do all that I do. I do the most. A lot of people say, yo, you're doing the most. I do the most just so people understand that it's possible. With 4 kids, with multiple businesses, with a full-time job as a phys ed teacher, it's possible. Mm-hmm. It is possible. All things are possible with God. But the first step you need to do is to get out of his way. A lot of us are in his way. We are blocking the blessing. He's not withholding it. You're blocking it.
I like it. You said the first step you need to take is to move out of God's way. So we're going to end right there, because I know y'all sitting there saying, that's profound. Yeah, it is. Move. Get out your own way. So until next time, good people, Keep doing what you're doing until what you're doing gets done. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Jori, we will be together June 10th. I cannot wait.
There goes a woman of God. Baby looking like, whoa, man. There goes a woman of God. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman first. I'm a woman, I'm a woman, I'm a woman.